Hey, good evening, everybody. This is a live recording of me trading with all the members of the Small Account Mastery, where our goal is to grow a small $2,000 account. As of lately, I've been focusing on a bunch of 0 days expiration trades, a SPY, SPX, things like that. But one thing I follow is darkpool volume, things like that. And I don't mean just any darkpool volume. I mean like the late prints is kind of like what I follow for giving direction. And then there was on Friday close to 18 million late sell prints, but we're now above them as price was opening up. And you see me go through the whole analysis, and we do open up a live trade on the SPY. I'm targeting 370. But also, apparently, I was also wrong as well because I was thinking some type of news was going to come out today. Obviously, it hasn't. Doesn't mean it can't come out tomorrow. But with I guess the unexpected or surprise closed door FOMC meeting, whatever you want to call it. After looking it up, it looks like it does happen quite often, but nonetheless, no news came out. But we did get above the prints, and that's what mattered, and it had me targeting to the upside. And anyways, you'll see the whole breakdown of my analysis and what I'm looking for what to happen. And if you have any questions, please just write them in the comment section and I will answer them right away. Or just go ahead and hang out with me in the Small Account Mastery. I talk about a bunch of dark stuff there as well. I'll leave some links in the description box for a trial and my drama free day trade class, things like that. But anyways, check it out. Let me know what you think, and yeah, see what happens. Hey, good morning, Sam Peck. How's everybody's weekend? Hey, good morning, Lorna. It was good. Awesome. Yeah, Rachel, big move so far this morning. That's something I want to talk about. For those of you that aren't aware, there's an emergency closed door Fed meeting that is happening today. So what does that mean? I am not going to be doing a drama-free day trade today. Why? Because that means something that has not been priced into the market yet is about to be thrown out. And so, um, therefore, I don't think drama-free is the way to go about it. And kind of reminds me, it was like 2000. What 17, 18 when a surprise full point rate hike happened, something like that. But anyways, the point is I'm not gonna be doing a drama free, but I am looking at some potential setups to take based off of what's happening. So there's a few things to take into account. Um, some things to take into account is okay. So there was actually another large dark pool level. If you recall, if you haven't seen the video, how I basically just from the dart pool there was 15 million late sell prints up here, then another 10 million right here, and it broke the wedge, so it looked like flushing. Well, we finally got another um, greater than 10 million print, and that was, I'm going to go ahead and mark this out here, and we did close below it, but if we start pushing above it, it could be a good level to get for a short-term trade in, because I don't think anything is going to exactly change at the moment. I want to go here. So basically, long story short, I'm looking at putting on a potential swing trade, a short-term swing trade to the upside. If we can reclaim, oops, not that. If we can reclaim 362.75. Reason being is because, like I said, there was on Friday 16.5 million. And I marked it red simply because we closed below it. But if we get back above it, it's a good sign of what's going on here. And actually, that happened on the 30th. I always put them on the date. Okay, bam. All right, so all right, well, I'm gonna see what y'all guys are saying here. Heard it was scheduled. I read that it was unscheduled. But all right, let's see here. I was reading what you just threw up there in the chat there. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if that's something y'all guys want to do and partake in, by all means, have at it. But as far as the drama-free side of things, I want to be patient on that. But if we do start to reclaim this level, that can indicate a potential push higher, and then we'll put on a swing trade, looking for price movement to go to the upside. I believe it does see dubs with the Credit Suzy and Dish Bank, right? Yeah, I believe it does, and I don't know it. I mean, to me, that is it was an unplanned meeting that they scheduled for today. That's a good way to put it. Delta 50 is kind of funny. Um, but the point is I think the intraday volatility potentially could be too high for a drama-free version. But now, as far as a day trade in general, I do like the idea of putting on. It's going to be like a at the money credit spread, about five wide. Making it pretty close, solid to risk reward is kind of what I'm kind of thinking today, especially if it's going to be volatile. But let's go ahead and just look at some things here and see how things are break down. Oh, I was looking at trading some oil last night. So let me change that. Did y'all do anything exciting for the weekend? My morning has been one of those mornings where it feels like every life tries to throw every obstacle in your way, so you can't get where you need to be on time. That was kind of my morning today. So we rallied right up into the resistance level. Question is, will we get moving? All right, so like I mentioned, drama-free type of day trade, the out of the money thing, I am not going to be doing today simply based on that. If it was planned, unplanned, I don't know. I am not going to throw the money on it, but if that's something you want to do, by all means. But I am going to be looking at doing one of the potential 0 days to expiration trades, just more of at the money. So does that make sense as far as what the plan is? So that I'm just what I'm not going to be planning on doing. Just potentially for the since the risk reward is so skewed, I'm not going to be looking at doing it that way. But I am all about, hey, if I see the setup and at the money, like let's say it's five wide, we get 250 for it. That's a good risk reward, and we could position size, and I have to worry about getting whipped out and some crazy volatility. But so what my plan is right now is this is basically what I'm looking for. I want to let the market kind of shake everything out as far as news goes today, right? Um, and then so we actually have the 1 hour squeeze going longer, but it's swinging right up at the resistance. But the main thing I want to focus on is okay, so there was these late prints, right? I can zoom into the 1 hour chart that are right here at 362.75. And then there is a potential news that could be released later. I believe the meeting's at 11:30. So let me paint this whole picture together. The prints usually comes before news. You've probably heard that some other places too. It's pretty common saying. So there was 16.5 million prints, and then guess what? Boom! Surprise meeting. All right. So whoever was already positioned for whatever is about to be released in the meeting. It could be coincidental or whatnot, or I also just have assumptions where I think something may potentially be released after it, and then someone's already in position for it to the upside, downside, whatever side it's going to be. But what I am doing, how I plan on us taking advantage of this is if we do start to push higher above 362.75, right? So we start to look like we're going to close above it. I would like to put a swing trade on just for a short-term push higher, maybe up to about 370. But we have to wait for it to show that is what's going to happen. If we don't start to reclaim that level, then that means price is going to keep going lower and we're already too low to get short. So then we'll wait for a swing trade setup at that point. So I do like a swing trade idea for a short-term pop based off of the late prints. And then if we do get above it, right? If we do get above this price and then we get a pullback to VWAP, I'll probably do um, the initiated day trade at that level. That's if we get there today. But that's pretty much the plan for the day. I mean, that news that came out right there kind of shook the plan a little bit. It makes sense, Lisa? Awesome. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm all open for any questions, but I think that's the best play right now. Can't really get short here. If the dark pool volume indicates a potential pop, cool, we can play the pop up higher real quick and then get ready for the short side again. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot to be chasing, really. First time sees maybe. I'm blind, but I didn't know these made a splash, but the dark pool makes sense. What you talking about a splash? It's supposed to repeat to you, Andrew. I don't know, but that is oh, okay, I gotcha. But yeah, so there's the prints and then the meeting. So we'll see what happens. So yes, obviously now we're pulling back right now. I mean, it's only Monday. Let everything shake out a little bit. Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with that, Rach. And then where am I finding the meeting? It's right. Lee's been posting it in the chat. You, it's right there. The link that Lee just posted right there. That's the link to it. Here, I'll even click it. Yeah, wham, closed. You are not allowed. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, they do seem to do it. I agree, Lee. But I'm going to be cautious on my end. But Lee's going to be like, bam, I just got $15 of credit. um, but cool. That's the plan for today. Just gonna be patient, let it shake out. Wait till the end of the meeting. And if it happens so often, why did this one catch so much news? That's my question. Like, I honestly didn't even know they happened that often. But then this one was like all over the news area. And maybe because it was expedited entry, like the way you were talking about it. Man, look at all those expedited meetings. Yeah, maybe. But that's my plan. Any questions I can help you out with as far as what the plan is for today? That's all I really think. That's what I think the best plan is. But if this is really a sell print, then I guess we got a lot more downside to go. Right, yeah, be cautious. But look at how we rallied right up to resistance. It got rejected hard. Hard rejection. But we'll see. And what are the meetings they talking about? They're probably talking about interest rates, trillion, but it's closed doors, so it's like only the cool kids get in. What is my next class going to be? Um, that is a good question, Betsy. I'm not sure. But it's for like a drama-free type of version. Yeah, if that makes sense. Type of version. But yeah, to answer your question, Betsy, I'm not sure. Not sure what's on the calendar. Cool. And then Lisa, did you say we're waiting to get above resistance? Put on at the money spread, Lisa. So what my plan is if we do get above those prints that came in on the SPY, Lisa, which was at 362 all the way up here. If we can get above them and then we pull back to VWAP, excuse me, then I'll look to put on at the money spread. If we get above this, that's for the day trade, Lisa. Now, if we get above it and start to close above it, I'm going to look for putting on probably an out of the money butterfly on it to see if that starts the rally, basically. That's what I'm getting at. You're welcome. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, just wait and see if we get above there and let the morning shake its volume out or snooze or whatever. Is that what they said there? JR, your first day back here. Welcome back. How long have you been here? Well, actually, JR, if you're wondering what the account size is, we're using not a theoretical, but a actual $2,300 account. So, well, welcome back, JR. So, no, it's not a theoretical $10,000 account. It's an actual $2,000 account. We started it, that particular account, going on September 14th. Yeah. Okay. Actually, hold on 1 second, guys. All right, now I'm back. Sorry about that. I haven't seen this here. Am I considering a day trade after that news? Yeah, so basically, I'm just looking at, as far as today's trade, it's going to be pivoted based off of the dark pool level. That is my whole plan today. Because when those big prints come in, things get moving. And I want to see if we're going to get moving. But anyways, welcome back, JR. You're half checked out on Friday, but you said something about showing Monday. Oh, okay. Yeah, so as far as the drama free, so the thing that's been stopping us out is the intraday volatility. What's kind of interesting about Friday, and honestly, it doesn't matter what direction you took, you probably could have been, um, obviously depending on entry, could have been stopped out because we had some pretty good wide ranges. And I heard Sam talking about this, and it was a good reminder. I remember being told this years ago, but I didn't really stick with it, mainly because I mean the VIX was at the time like at 11 or 10 or something like that, and then so therefore I didn't really uh, keep with it. Then I heard Sam talking about the other day, and I was like, oh, that's a good point. So when the VIX is up to a certain level, like right now, when it's up near 32, you divide it by 16, and that basically comes down to being where intraday should get about 2% moves. Not, it doesn't mean 2% up, 2% down. It just means total up and down throughout everywhere is going to be a potential of 2%. And if you're going to be up to a potential of 2%, then that's enough to stop you out of a drama-free day trade, right? So that's when we could switch gears a little bit and do more of at the money versus out of the money and have a tighter risk to reward where you don't get stopped out on volatility, but you can still let it ride and control your risks a little bit more. Does that make any sense at all? So basically, what I'm saying is, whenever the VIX is kind of this high, then we should probably maybe evaluate the drama-free trades a little bit tighter. Is all I'm getting at. Yeah, it makes sense, Rachel. Okay. Yeah, when I heard him saying that, I was like, oh, that is a great idea. I'm like, I can't believe I forgot about that because that was years ago. Like I said, when the VIX was so low, I didn't really even. I was like, well, that doesn't matter. I mean, the VIX is way down here, so whatever. But times have changed. Um, but yeah, so once I heard that, I was like, oh, that's a good analysis to have as far as considering a drama free versus not drama free, considering how wide the intraday ranges may be. But as far as everything else, we are going up. And I do see your question about the SPY. How far out we're going to go? See, if this is buying and we get above 62, and I'll cover this right now as well. So if we do get above, we say we get up to 363, where do I want to target? I'm not looking to hold on for overly long, so I may look for maybe just the high range, maybe 370. Let's price some trades out real quick. And the way we're starting to rally up right now and knock out those losses, I might actually want to hop in relatively soon. We'd either do a butterfly or we can really position size ourselves without having to worry about it. If it does make a huge move, then we profit pretty well. But let's go ahead and look at some things here. What is end of the week? The 10th. Yeah, let's just see if we were to make it wide. See where we get in for $1. And this, I'm making it broken wing just because if it was to skyrocket through, we're not completely, like, nothing's worse than being right on direction but still taking a loss. So we could risk $100. If we nail it, make about 380. If it goes up, make it about 1-to-1 trade. Or we can get really, you know what might be the play to do? Give it some time, so if we are wrong, I'm also considering risk. Like, since it's only 2K, I don't want to throw too much at it. Morning, Jill. Using SPX, no. By all means, if you're going to use SPX, uh, then by all means just make it at the money. I'll put out the variable on it as well. But if we do get a good slingshot higher, I don't really want to just do a dollar wide because that's, I mean, it's only risking 88 bucks. Oh, actually, sorry. Here, listen a little bit more, but let's see, let's go deeper in the money. If we were to do basically a delta 60, delta 50. Nah, gotta keep the wrist tighter. But no, Abby. By all means, if this is buying, then I think we're going to go higher regardless of whatever um, product you are trading. So all I'm doing right now is just trying to find what I think potentially would be the best way to trade it to the upside. I want to minimize risk, but still be able to capitalize on a pretty strong move, but I don't want to cap the upside. The dark pool level at 362 right here. 362.75. It's here. Yep. Oops, let's bring that back up. Yeah, I'll cover that again here in a minute, Joe Mac. Well, since we have time, so basically, what is happening, Joe Mac, is if we could start to get above 362.75, I'm want to position a swing trade to the upside because that is a dark pool level that came in right before a, um, well, I guess a special or surprise meeting from the Fed. But anyways, long story short, it's a level that we need to acknowledge, and if we do get above it because it is greater than 10 million, and we haven't had one in a while, this potentially could start the rally to at least get short again. Is basically what I'm looking at there. Does that make sense at all? But it's basically just a large print level came in on Friday. News has come out. If we start to get above it, then basically you could assume that large amount of buying was being done on Friday. So they were getting in position on Friday. The news comes out today, and then we either spike up or we could crash. Go either way, but at least we're trying to take advantage of it. If we get back above it, then it could imply that we could go higher. Um, I'm not worried about it for a swing trade chart chick, but if I was to do a day trade, a drama free, yes, but not particular since I'm not planning on doing that today. It's not something I'm worried about when it comes to doing a swing trade. David, yeah, I'll show that again. I haven't thrown one on yet, but I'm just trying to think. I do think 70 would be a good spot to go. I wonder if we made it. How would it look if we made it 10 wide? Probably not. Probably cost too much for this account. Yeah, I don't want to throw $2 at it. Got to keep it small for this one. Actually, 16.5 MMU. I don't know if it was buying yet. At the moment, it looks like selling. If we can get above the level, then you can consider buying. And another reason to consider it could be buying, or it doesn't really matter if it's buying, it's just a level worth watching. So you see right here, and if we broke the support level, if we start, and it's right at the dark pool level, so we had a flush and we start to reclaim it, that at least opens the door for a push higher. All right, Avery, so if you do it at the money vertical as opposed to out of the money, maybe more precise in your entry and direction. For a vertical, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish, Avery. Like, let's just, here, we'll set one up right now. Let's just kind of like plan it out. If we're gonna do a vertical, I want to give it some time, mainly because if we are wrong on the direction, say it does kind of pop up and smack right back down, at least we still have some time on it to get out for a smaller loss. So that's why I'm kind of looking at 14 days. It doesn't mean we're going to hold it out to 14 days, but we could kind of position for it. But if we were to do like a 65, all right, sorry, 365, 360, still, I want a more one-to-one. That's not even a one-to-one reward. It's kind of interesting how it's having such a hard time providing that type of risk reward. It would be buying a butterfly, Adam. If we do the butterfly, I'm just right now. All I'm doing is planning ahead. I have not took any action yet. Just wanted to more of a discuss it with y'all so y'all could be aware of kind of what I'm looking at. Kind of interesting that there's no 363. Wonder what's up with that. Yeah, I get it, Adam. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with planning ahead. Guess we're just gonna have to wait to see if we do push up there. And another thing too, if we do get a pop and push higher, IV is going to contract. So therefore it also benefit us some. So the VIX is still coming down. Things are still pushing up. So that could give me about 1 to 1. 150 for 150. But what I am kind of liking is this, probably the setup right here. The 365, 370, 372. Reason being because we could risk 120 if we do get the surge up into the end of the week, if that is what happens. Then we can make a little over 100%. If we pin it right at 170 at the end of the week, which is right here at this zone right here, then we make even more money. The profits will be better. So that's probably what I'm looking at, considering doing the 365, 370, 372. Um, broken wing. Call butterfly. Sorry, kind of stopped there in my brain. Like I said, crazy morning. But does that make sense there? Or we could actually, if we wanted to, filling rambunctious, we could front run it and see what happens there. For me, how much am I planning the risk spread? I for this account, this little $2,000 account, I'm only going to throw $100 at it, or one position. For those of you, if you have a bigger account, then I think managed risk. I'm not going to say a percentage or anything like that. I personally have never been a 5% risk type of person. I keep it between 2 to 3. But for the sake, like to keep your mentality calm, I would certainly say just here it says just position size to the amount you're fully willing to lose to go to 0. Because we could be absolutely wrong on this. The 10th is a Monday. Did I miss a look at that? Oh, you're right. I did miss a look at that. Good catch. So, okay, so it's 4 days versus 7 days. Well, I mean, nothing's wrong with an extra few days. So I'm cool with till Monday. And we could always branch it out a little bit further to get better risk reward. But that's kind of the plan today. But we got to make sure it proves itself first. Let's see. Is there any time the Fed meets? What do you mean, Todd? They're I believe they're meeting at 11:30, I believe. I'm gonna be honest with you, it feels like buying, just the way everything is looking. Let's see, where it jumped on us. Let's see what happens if we're planning out for Friday. Same cost, roughly. Just comparing the cost between the two. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Lee. I'm gonna press one more thing. What if we were to extend it just a little bit? Say we get a little really rambunctious here. That's gonna cost too much if we sold the 275s. I'm sorry, but not cost too much, but So you risk 90 bucks. If we get it all the way up here to 75, we're at 75. Nah, not by the end of the week. That's overshooting it. Oh, here we go. Coming up to that level. I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like front running it because I do think it was potentially going to cause the spike higher based off how the market's already reacting. Slicing right through it. I'm just gonna look till Monday real fast. Oh yes, Avery. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, at out of the money, you need to be more precise in direction. That is correct. Right, Gurmeet. See how we're coming right up to that level and starting to kind of pause there? Like I'll even go into a 1 minute candle. Crazy how they work, right? That's all from the dark pool level I got from on Friday. Dark pool level after 363. And where is my target? What you mean MMK? If we enter this position, it's the target is just really we want to hit 370 by the time frame we choose. That's what I'm looking for, hitting any sometime between the end of this week or into next week. Yeah. So if we get above 362.75, which it looks like we want to, then I'm going to try targeting 370 based off these little spreads right here. But once I get it, a bit more confirmation on what I want to, what we should be doing, then I'll throw it on there. But the cost of entry is all relatively the same. Well, all right. Guess we'll go ahead. Yeah, let's just hop in now. I'm ready to hop in. I'm pretty sure we're gonna, based off the technicals from the day chart to the print level to the way everything's acting, I do think a potential rally is in store. Now we just got to pick when. How aggressive do we want to be? And even if we go further out of the money or further out in time doesn't necessarily mean we have to hold on for the whole thing, but that obviously gives you the better um, risk reward if you're completely wrong. So we'll probably throw in a swing here in a second. Just now, everything's a little bit more expensive than I wanted to put on this small account. Okay, obviously, the Voodoo line Pavlin, nah. I've seen darkpool volume slice right through that stuff. I think they're valid and they work, but whenever prints like that come in, it's gonna be like David Starr who? If you get what I mean. So I personally don't mind it, and I don't necessarily think that um yeah. What if we were just to put a larger credit spread on? The problem right now is when you do it like that, it's too narrow and it's gonna hold into that value too much. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, it's basically one of those just shut up and put on the trade type of moments. I might actually push it out a little bit further then. So this is for this week, this is for Monday. So a little bit later. All right. So we'll just give it to Monday. See what happens here. So we could, for one position, I want to try getting in for 150 at minimum. So risk 150 bucks to potentially double it if it really gets if it gets moving going into Monday if all this does play out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get here, spy, and I want to go ahead and use October 10th. And this is going to be a call broken wing butterfly. We're going to sell the 370s. And then how do we price it? Whoops. 372s and 365s. Oh, actually, I like that. One, one. There we go. So I'm going to get one. I'm going to try. Are we pulling back? I mean, that's really just being a D for a T, as they say. All right, I'm going to try 145 for just one of them. Put it in the small account. All right. I may have to adjust it though. All right, now I'm just gonna adjust it 147 or 150 just to get in. 147, 145. Good. I think I got filled for 150. I got filled at 148. Cool. But let me alert this out. SPY October 10th, 365, 370, 372, called butterfly. So I got in for 148, so I'll put that up there. I'll answer that question here in a moment. Yes, it is buying. If you're doing a butterfly, you are purchasing. Unbalanced, you sell. I'll clear that up here in a moment. Let me get that out for a second for the people that are at home. Then I'll cover the broken wing here in a setup here in a moment. Oh, it is 372. You are correct, Baba. Good eye, good eye. 372. Typing probs, I tell y'all. But yes, but even yes, Jeff, you're buying the call butterfly. And so here, and we could cover this real quick. So we did September 10th, got in for about 148. So I'm gonna close this. So right here in the risk graph, if you're not sure how this works, I can break this down for y'all as well, and then we'll um, cover what an unbalance looks like. If it goes above 372, then we're good. There is no capped profits. This thing could go all the way up to 8 or to 400 if it wants. It doesn't matter. We have no capped profits to the upside. I targeted 370 because if we do move up there and kind of stall due to technicals, great. But if it completely skyrockets through, we're still good. So that's the setup here, and this will may help break it down if you don't know how to read risk graph. But so we have one position. So this in the small account, we're risking 148 bucks for this position, and then also, so the risk graph, here is your profit and loss. Here is the stock you're looking at price. So like right now, if the SPY's chilling right here at 363, which is what this line means, then you can see I'll move this off right here. Then it tells you what your P&L is if you look right here based off of the date. So the blue line is your P&L on expiration date, which is October 10th. And it says 11th because it's the day after it actually expired. And then this purplish one is today, your P&L based off of today. And so the way to look at this is, okay, so our break even by October 10th is up here at 366. And then we make the most money up here at this peak. We can make about $300, roughly 200% return if we go into expiration there. Now, but what if price just skyrockets through, a short squeeze occurs? We are fine. We have, you see how there, it doesn't dip back below. If we did a butterfly, we'd have upside risk. But I broke it in that case so that if it does take off and go to the upside, like right here, we still make 100% return. So we can make 100% return if it skyrockets. We make more money if it stalls at 370. But if it continues, yeah, going higher, then we make more. Does that make any sense right there? I did call butterfly just to decrease the price, atom, and to decrease the price of the cost to go to the upside. And then if we look at the chart, if we do come up right here and we stall in this zone right here, then we'll make more money. So if we do a simple rally up here, test the gap, and we stall, we can get out for, who knows, maybe 150, 170% return. But if it completely goes up higher, cool, we're still good. But the point is we just want price to go up and kind of sideways here. But the reason for that versus a put credit spread is simply to decrease the cost of trading and to try to skew it a little bit. To make a good risk reward trade on the SPY like this, where you can get the best out of it, will require more capital. So that is why I switched it that way. But once the account is bigger, that'll be no problem. Like I would have loved to do a call or a put credit spread and let it shoot up and all that, but we have to manipulate it a little bit because it's a smaller account. And Lisa, if you're still here, let me know and I'll cover the butterfly as well, the unbalance. With a larger account, you could do I would have probably done like a 10 wide SPX put credit spread MVP. Yeah, for Monday. Take advantage of that quick pop in the IV contraction. It's personally what I would do. But a good risk reward is basically the key there. The reason if we're a good risk reward is because we are popping down, right? And we are coming in trying to, in a sense, catching a knife, but we have Prince kind of showing us the way to the upside there. Yeah, that is unbalanced. So the difference, I wanted to make sure you're here before I cover it. Now, MVP was just asking what you could do. If you have a large account, if you want to do a put credit spread, by all means, that's a way to go about it. But manage it to your um, liking, because I'm not gonna be able to manage it because for one, I'm not in it. But so the unbalanced, Lisa, if we would have done this unbalanced, it would have looked like this. So we would have sold the puts, but it requires more capital. So we've gone to 370 and we sold 3 of them. And then we would actually have to, if we completely replicated it, I don't think it would work as well. Let's see, 1 and then 2. Oh no, this was 1 and then this 2. So it looks similar, but this one, the unbalance will require more capital, more margin. But it's best for if you're going to take advantage of IV crush. And then how do you determine width of a credit spread? That's all based on what you're trying to accomplish, really. Width of a credit spread has to do with your risk reward and what you're trying to take advantage of. You're welcome, Lisa. No, so if you're trading a larger account, I still think the butterfly idea is the way to go as well, because you're also, if you think about it, because you're short too, so we didn't do that balance. You're short too, so you're going to have more of a theta element to it. Like you still do an SPX butterfly like this as well if you're wanting to. It's funny you say. I was looking at going long oil last night, Baba. But yeah. So does that make sense as far as the setup here? And as far as if you want to see a real butterfly, if we were to make this so you can understand what capping your profits would have looked like. So if we would have sold the 370s, and if we were to make it balanced, meaning 5 wide on each side, meaning you sold the 370s, bought the 365s, and bought the 375s, your cost would only have been 70 cents to get into the trade. But the downfall is, in the event of a short squeeze, it's going to rip right through your trade. The thing about butterflies on shorter term is you have to be right on time and price. See, if a short squeeze happens, it just straight through. So right here, your loss, sorry, your break evens here, and your break evens here about 374. So it has to stay in here. But we broke it to where if it comes up like this and then like that, then we're still okay. Does that make sense? But yeah. Okay, so we have, excuse me, that trade on. I'm gonna keep an eye out for a potential 0 day expiration trade. That trade will probably come in the morning. Oh, good, awesome. The risk graph really painted it clear. Awesome. So as far as if you're looking for the 0 day expiration trade, what I'm going to look for is probably be in the afternoon, just so you know. If we do get above that dark pool print level, right, which we are currently above, and we get a pullback to VWAP, that's going to be the entry I'm going to look to potentially go and do a 0 day expiration trade if it does look like it will still be valid. If not, okay, I guess we won't throw on a day trade today, but we'll have that swing trade working for us into next week. So that also plays out. I see this here. JC's IC from Friday seemed to benefit, right? Uh, yeah, so the thing about credit spreads, um, things about credit spread, the wider is better. There's always this misconception of like, that's why I think if you have a large account, do a 10 wide credit spread because you're wanting that premium to decay. The narrower your spread, that long leg is going to hold on the value much longer. So if you're going to do a spread, like they say, wider is better. But yeah, that IC was a nice little profit. Awesome. Oh, that was you did was it a debit Iron Condor? See, you bought it for 45 and sold it for 255. Yeah, the thing about that is it's a, oh, sorry, it was a credit. Okay. I was about to say that was a heck of a move. I'm not sure how that worked out, but hey, good on you. Okay. Oh, okay. You sold it for 255, bought it for 45. No, absolutely. No, they play out pretty well if they're going to, I think it works just this market's a little bit more volatile, but there is definitely a time and place for them. I think most people, I think more people do it than you realize. Oh, and that answers your question, Avery. Yeah. Sorry, a lot of questions thrown at me, but yeah, that's the wider you make it. Like for me, in my larger accounts, I like to make it about 10 wide. That way, that shorter, or sorry, your long leg doesn't hold on to premium as quickly because that premium will be sucked right out of it. And then RT dart pool information, I get it from everywhere. I use Livevol. I use this right here. Let's see if the dart pool's popping up today. Let's see, we got anything today? No, I don't see them yet. But I'll use this or Livevol Pro is what I use to look it up. Thank you, my smooth trading the same despite my chaotic morning. I tell you, my kids were acting crazy, slow drivers. I don't want to drive the speed limit, construction, just one after another. I was like, man, I'm not even going to make it back in time. Uh, More expensive, the broken wing butterflies. It depends on what you're trading, really. But iron condors, the credit you receive minus the width of the spread is what your risk is. Getting out of the way, right, Mincy? I'm trying. But I do need to get ready for my other sessions and other thing. But does today's morning plan make sense? Make sure everyone's squared away. We decided to go long off of the dark pool prints that came in on Friday. We waited till we started pushing through. We did, and just the overall daily structure does look like price wants to go higher. We're kind of targeting 370. Like we can make about and we probably won't pin it there, so don't expect a 200% return type of thing, but we could get a good risk reward out of it if it does move up there. And say a short squeeze does occur and completely rips our face off, then no big deal, because we have no upside risk. Was there a stop on the cost of the trade roll? And no, there is not. See, if the EU came out and announces a bailout for Credit Suisse, would you be interested in buying long dated calls or stock with ideas? C-Dub's not. That's not really not my thing. So I can't say I would be. But yeah. So that's it. We'll have that work. We'll see if a trade setup plays out into the end of the day that we do a 0 DTE trade. But that's the plan, really. If we stay above, get a clean pullback, we'll go long into that pullback. Otherwise, we'll just stay fresh and wait for tomorrow. Cool. All right. If you need me, I'll be here in the background. Just ping me, and I'll answer your questions and whatnot. And we'll go from there. So wait for news to then consider selling PCS. Yes, Nasir. I'm gonna wait for the news into the afternoon to come out if it does, and then if a pullback to VWAP happens, I'll probably go long there. But if it's one of those days where it just rallies and a pullback doesn't happen, I want to be like TLC and don't go chasing waterfalls. But yeah, that's the plan. Yep. See any options rooms. All right, everyone have an awesome day. See how this plays out. And I'm not going to be placing an order to close it because the goal here is to let it work. You don't want to cut your knees off or whatever the term is. You know what I mean? Cut yourself off at the knees. But yeah, that's the idea. But yeah, everyone have a great day, and I'll let y'all know. All right, take care, everybody.